Hey, it's Rebecca. It's come to my awareness that many of us, women and men, are still carrying that pattern of subservience for the feminine. And this dates way, way, way back to the patriarchal rule. And it can just permeate your feelings, every decision in your life. This morning I was tuning into a couple of things going on in my life concerning men, and I realized I feel so guilty. Why do I feel guilty? And then Spirit came in and gave me a talking to about how this pattern of female subservience needs to be cleared for all of humanity. Now, there's no blame going on here. The men in your life were born with the same patterns. It's not about blaming anyone. What it is about is clearing. So how are you going to know if this EFT tapping exercise is going to help you with your clearing? Well, think about something that you feel kind of guilty about concerning a man. And come on, it can't be that hard. And then give that a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Well, how much do you feel guilty or shame or embarrassment? Those kind of things come out that maybe you actually owe a man something when in truth you don't. So what can happen is this also keeps us from embracing our inner masculine. So we're going to move into doing an EFT exercise, tapping. If you thought of something you feel guilty about, just follow along with me. So this is the karate chop spot. If you don't know EFT, there's lots of tutorials, but just do what I do and you'll get the clearing. Even though I have this female servitude pattern in my body, in my mind, in my brain, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this female servitude pattern in my body, in my brain, in my cellular memory, I love and accept myself. Even though I've taken on the guilt for poor old Eve back there in the myth of the garden, where she was accused of the fall of man, I deeply, completely, lovingly accept myself. I've taken on the burden of Eve. I feel indebted to man. I feel responsible for the fall of man. Now here I'm going to stop for a moment. Doesn't matter if you really feel responsible for the fall of man. This is a pattern we're addressing that can talk and say these little things deep in your subconscious, which causes you what? Misery, guilt, shame, underneath here. I'm afraid to displease a man. Ooh, here. I feel that, put it like that so you can see my mouth. I'm holding the burden of female servitude. I feel guilty. I feel shame. Then we're just going to knock our wrists together. Female servitude. Okay. Now that's one round, and you can check and see if your intensity has gone down a little. But now what I want to do is call in your whole soul cluster. All your past life experiences. Now, you've been a male, you've been a female, could have been transgender. It doesn't matter because the male carries the pattern, the female carries the pattern. We're here doing the work. So now how do we do this? It's very simple. According to the Egyptian law of Ren, spelled R-E-N, when you call a spirit, they gotta come. Now this applies to living or dead. So what we're going to do is call your ancestry and all your past lives into a circle of light, because we're going to do this clearing on behalf of everyone, your lineage. So close your eyes and imagine that there is a ginormous circle of light in front of you, and repeat after me. By the power of my I Am presence, honoring my divinity within, I call all my ancestry into the circle of light. And if you're using your imagination, you'll notice the circle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. By the power of my I Am presence, I call all my past life incarnations into the circle of light. Shh, bigger and bigger and bigger. By the power of my I Am presence, I call all the incarnations in every dimension that I have ever been to witness this healing into the circle of light. By the power of my I Am presence, I call all my angelic team, light being team, into the circle of light. I ask you to bear witness and to participate in this healing of this pattern of female subservience, servitude, feeling guilt, feeling shame, feeling that we are responsible for the fall of man. And so it is. And now we're going to tap again, and remember, we're offering this on behalf of everyone. So, all your past lives, male and female, here we go, tapping on the karate chop spot, it's called. Even though I have a lot of baggage, a lot in my soul family, holding that pattern of female subservience, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this pattern, and all my incarnations of holding that female subservience pattern, I love and accept myself, and I forgive myself, and I forgive the patriarchy, and I forgive all those incarnations that perpetuated this pattern. Take a deep breath in and out. I felt a big shift right there, top of the head. I'm carrying the burden for the fall of man. Carrying the burden for the fall of man. Carrying the burden for the fall of man. I feel guilty. I feel shame, responsible for the fall of man. I have female servitude. Female servitude. I owe so much to man. I must slither and slime at his feet forevermore. Now we're making fun, okay? I have this pattern of female servitude in all my incarnations. Now, we're going to take this a step further. This is not a 2-minute video because this is a very deep healing on so many levels. We're going to address certain parts of the body that hang on to any kind of pattern. And today we're focusing on female servitude. So here we go. Even though I'm holding female servitude, shame and guilt in my energy body, in my amygdala, in my hypothalamus, in my cellular memories throughout my being, I love and accept myself. even though I'm holding this pattern of feeling guilty, that I need to explain everything to a man, that I need to relieve my guilt by making him feel better, I love and accept myself. Holding this pattern in my corpus callosum, holding this pattern in my brain, I'm holding this pattern in my pineal gland. Oh, I felt electricity on that one. Holding this pattern in my thalamus and hypothalamus. Holding this pattern in my pituitary gland. Holding female servitude in my amygdala. Holding female servitude in my amygdala. My brain is filled with the pattern of female servitude. Now we're just going to go right into some other parts of the body. Did you know that there is a belly in your brain and a belly in your heart that have the same kind of synapses that are in your brain? So we're going to also address those. I'm holding this pattern of female subservience in the brain and my belly. Holding it in the brain of my heart. Holding it in the brain of my belly. That's why you get that horrible clutch of guilt in the pit of your stomach. Holding this female servitude pattern in the brain and my heart. Holding this female servitude pattern in the brain and my belly. Holding this female servitude pattern in my amygdala. Holding this female servitude pattern in my medulla oblongata. Holding this female servitude pattern. Take a deep breath in and out. Now we're going to do opposite. I can let it go, I can't let it go. And then we're going to move into accepting of the male. So we're just going to tap and say opposite. I can let it go. I can't let it go. I can let it go. I can let it go. I can't let it go. It's held me secure for millennia. I can let it go. I'm ready to be free. I can't let it go. Yes, the hell I can let it go. Yeah, take a deep breath in and out. Okay, we're going to move into forgiveness, even though we touch on it a little bit, and then embracing our inner masculine. You know, this whole thing with the divine feminine reemergence is about balance. It's not about man bashing. We need men. I actually love men. And women. We need that balance. So let's just move into forgiveness. Even though I've been holding this pattern, I'm so ready to let it go. I'm letting it go. I send forgiveness to every incarnation that perpetuated this. I send forgiveness to every incarnation that perpetuated this female subservience pattern. I send forgiveness. Forgiveness. It feels so good to forgive. I forgive. I forgive. I forgive. I forgive. Take a deep breath in and out. Now we're ready to embrace our inner masculine and bring about a better balance so that we can have a happier life and so that we can make decisions not out of guilt or feeling subservient, even though none of us modern women would admit it, but it's still there. So here we go, tapping in, embracing our divine masculine. Here we go. Even though I'm releasing this old pattern of feminine servitude, I deeply love and accept myself. I'm releasing it. And I choose, thank you, Patricia Carrington, I love you forever. I choose to embrace my inner masculine. Ooh, that felt good. I choose to embrace my inner masculine. I choose to embrace my inner masculine. It's good to explore my inner masculine, choosing to embrace. Woo, howdy, my inner masculine. I'm embracing my inner masculine. Embracing my inner masculine. Embracing my big strong man inside. Embracing my inner masculine. Embracing my inner masculine. Anchor, lock, and seal this healing on every level, every layer, forward in time, backward in time, and in every dimension. Thank you to the angelic teams, and thank you to all the incarnations of myself and my ancestry for being part of this releasing. If there's a video that you'd like me to make for you about EFT or anything, please leave it in the comment section and make comments on how you felt the shift. As a matter of fact, tune into how high your guilt was feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. Maybe it was at a 5, and check it now and see how it is. Leave it in the comment section. I love to read it, and guess what? Other people love to read it. And while you're here, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel now and hit that little bell, and this way it'll notify you every single time I make a new video. I'm Rebecca Marina, and I'm wishing you, no, I'm not just wishing you, I'm sending you love from the power of my magnetic heart.